Hello and welcome back to What Sam Said. Today we're going to focus on the while you are waiting part in your quest to become the next version of you. I remember sitting in a leadership meeting probably about 2.5, 3 years ago when Dr. Stevens was talking about her preparation to run marathons and some of the adjustments over the years that she's had to make in order to become a better version of herself in that arena. She focused on the fact that athletes train. They prepare sometimes months in advance for one day of competition. They may have to change their diet. They may have to get up and work out early in the morning while others are asleep. They may spend additional hours after that perfecting their craft, while others may be enjoying other activities. What do they know that others don't? They understand the ultimate goal of any race or project that you get involved in is to win. They invest the time, they make the adjustments. For example, you can't run, well, I know I can't run a 10K and I haven't mastered a 1K yet. You can't just jump in from the sideline, pour a couple cups of water over your face and your body so you look like you're sweating, jump up, I won. Everybody looking at you like, no, that's not how this game is played. Everybody has to give up something in order to go up. There's a process to becoming a winner. Some things are taught while other practices are caught through relationships with others who have been through what you are running to. You can't see what's on the inside of a champion. You can gain some insight when you see them on the outside, but the true person is on the inside. It does not matter what others are saying about you in your quest. Stay true to who you are. It does not matter if you are not in the majority. Stay true to who you are. As a leader, you will, as Jill Scott says, you're going to have some haters. And that's something you need to realize. I remember some of the more challenging leadership moments I had as a department chair, an assistant principal, and as a principal. I think some of the leadership experience and tests that I failed early on in my career, and some I'm still trying to master. And in some instances, I still failed again and again. And I realized, Sam, you need to change. But I knew I needed to pass the test where I was in order to elevate to where I desired to be. So I changed, got into a new position, and lo and behold, realized I needed to change again. Words of wisdom. Just because you have the potential to lead does not mean you will be successful. Sometimes the problem is you. First lesson, learn to listen. I remember a social media post that I saw some time ago said, before you can be made, you have to be broken first. You can't keep just pulling off a scab and not expect the healing process to be interrupted. Your personality and your charisma can get you to the door and in some instances put you in the seat for that particular moment in time. However, it is the preparation that will position you in order to be favored by those that you will become in front of. Sometimes we feel because we have a talent or ability and we can do it just a little bit better than the other person, that alone at that moment serves as a prerequisite to have doors open for us. We rest on past laurels, what I used to be and what I have done, and think the version of us that got the job is the same version of us that can keep the job. And how many of us have found, both hands and feet up, that sometimes that version of you is right for that position, but in order for increase to come, you do have to change. Remember, when preparation and opportunity meet, there's potential for advancement. Not just because you showed up. You have to ask yourself, have I trained for this? What areas of my life have been strengthened through various trials and opportunities that have prepared me for this moment? What books have I read? What courses have I taken that have set me apart? What have I given up in order to go up? Who have I let go of? We can have that conversation for another hour. And what am I carrying that can propel me into my destiny? In the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and 28, God said to be fruitful and multiply. What seed do you have lying dormant in you that you have not allowed to be planted? Have you ever noticed in life that people don't run after seed, they run after your fruit? What book is in you that you've not written? What song is in you that people are waiting to hear? What gift that you have that the world is waiting on? Be fruitful and multiply. When people go to my hometown of Fort Valley, Georgia, during certain seasons looking for peaches, they don't usually get out of the car and run into the orchards and say, where your peach seeds at? No, where your ice cream at? Where your peach shakes at? Where are those fresh peaches I've heard about? Where is that homemade cobbler? I didn't come here to wait. I'm hungry now. When people go to the birthplace of my biological father, when they go to Cordele, Georgia, to the farmer's market, they're looking for watermelon. They ask, where's the fruit? Where's the watermelon? When you drive into the state of Florida, there's a welcome center that has a sign that says, stop in, free orange juice. Why? It is what they are known for producing. What's in you? When people see you, when you walk into the room, what does your presence speak? What is it about Sam West? I've heard that about him. I can't wait to hear him speak. Matthew 25:14 tells us of the parable of the talents. One was given 5, one was given 2, and one was given 1. The Bible goes on to say, to every man according to his individual ability, that which they are able to bring forth. You can't be mad with the person who received 5 talents. Maybe the boss knew that an additional 5 wasn't in your ability to manifest. So don't be mad. Do what you have been called to do with what you have. Don't compare someone else's talent with what has been given. Just do you. It is not what you start with. It is the multiplication that matters. You walk in an interview sharp on the outside, but just as empty on the inside. The leader is waiting to hear, how can you give birth to his vision? And your gift is still lying on the inside of you, dormant, no evidence, no artifacts, just waiting. Let me out, let me out. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift will make room for him and bring him before great men. Again, we were told to be fruitful and multiply. Now, there's a time factor involved between when you believe that you receive something and you actually get it. What are you going to do to cause your gift to manifest? Sometimes you have to just be quiet and not allow your mouth to abort your future. In the book of Galatians 4:4, it says, but when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law. Proverbs 1:02-13 says, you will arise and have pity on Zion. It is the time to favor her. The appointed time has come. There's a timing in this process becoming the next version of you. And there are some things that you and I are going to have to do as those seasons approach us. Isaiah 60:22 tells us that God will bring about his plans in his own perfect timing. There's a book by Mishra Granjan called The Bench Warmer. It talks about the importance of waiting. While you're sitting on the bench, while you are waiting, learn, listen, practice. While you are waiting, ask questions. While you are waiting, work on your weak areas. While you are waiting, God is working in the background, developing you, purging you, and the answer will come in his timing. But while you are waiting, my question for you is this. What rough edges do you need to be smooth? Is it learning how to communicate in a positive manner? Is it learning how to be silent and not always having to voice your opinion? Is it humbling yourself so you can be elevated later? You keep having the same experience. You go on an interview and they say, well, we'll give you a call back. You know what I mean? They may not be calling you. And you ask yourself, why can't I pass this test? I know what's on the inside of me. Why can't I pass? Well, it keeps resurfacing the same interview question that you weren't prepared to answer on the last interview. It keeps coming back up. You say, I keep failing. They don't like me. Well, maybe you're not likable. I mean, you got to look and have a hard conversation with you about you that you need to work on so the you that you desire can become the you that you prayed for. As Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror. We are where we are because of the choices we made. I have come to realize that what we feed grows. You cannot focus on your problem and your solution at the same time. You will either move forward or you will stay where you are. It was Joyce Meyer who was told, you can choose to be pitiful or you can choose to be powerful, but not both. Again, you can choose to be pitiful or you can choose to be powerful, but not both. John Maxwell said in his book, 5 Levels of Leadership, that a leadership position is usually given to people because they have leadership potential. Being assigned the position is not a guarantee of your success in the position. That is why there are probationary periods. That's why people get mentors to work with them. Let me see what you're working with. What's got going on? Where you are in your project? Do you have any questions? How can I help you? I used to think, oh, I got it, I'm good, was a sign that I knew what I was doing. But what I realized when they left was I probably should have asked a question. I probably should have logged onto a webinar. I probably should have went to the professional development session that spoke to this task. But no, I got it. Look, if you want greater, you got to give greater. If you want more, you have to give more. I believe it was Tupac who said the loudest boos will always come from the cheapest seat. Everybody is not going to favor you. Everybody is not going to be on your side. So do you get to a point where, God, I want this gift on the inside of me. I know it needs to be developed. I know I need to mature in some areas. Tell yourself every day, I can do this. I will stop me from stopping me. In closing, we just need to see ourselves from the inside first. There's a champion in you, and you deserve to be filled the same way you pour out. Sometimes we barely notice ourselves walking through the doors that we prayed would open. And I'll say that again. Sometimes we barely notice ourselves walking through the doors we prayed would open. Stop, look around, make a list, check it off. Celebrate every step along the way. Be so confident in God's plan that you don't even get upset when things don't go your way. Don't be afraid to be who you are. There is someone out there who needs to meet someone just like you. Your best you awaits you. Thank you for joining me for What Sam Said. Learn, listen, and grow. There are people out there who are sitting there now saying, God, send me someone to help me. And that someone is you. Again, thank you for joining What Sam Said.